Have you ever wanted to see a live action remake of a classic Disney movie which was actually really good? Well, I give you The Jungle Book. Remaking Disney classics into a more modern thing for a new generation isn't always the easiest thing to do. Although it seems to me that Jon Favreau and his cast did a pretty fantastic job. The only actual live action actor who was there was Neil Sethi, who played Mowgli. Everyone else, setting, other characters, all the animals, were all computer generated. Now, that is scary to think of. Seeing your whole movie is going to be computer animated is always a little bit iffy because you don't know whether computer animation is going to live up to what it really looks like. But they did really, really well. The animals all looked realistic. It was at that point, kind of like in Life of Pi, if you've seen that, where in Life of Pi they used real animals at some points, but the animation was so good you couldn't tell which was which. In this case, all of it was CGI, but you still couldn't tell whether it was a real animal or a computer generated one. And that's exactly what you want when you go to a movie that's using CGI. You don't want to be able to tell that it's not real. And in this case, I had no problem with that. Jon Favreau, who is actually a good director, I mean, he's directed all 3 Iron Mans. He directed the classic comedy Elf. He directed the Sundance winner, I believe, of Chef, which is actually quite good. To bring him in to direct a Disney classic after seeing him both act and direct in other features, it is a little bit nerve-wracking for viewers because you don't necessarily know if he's going to be able to pull it off. But hats off to Jon Favreau. He did such a good job with this. The pacing was brilliant, the mix of both action and a little bit of humour from Baloo was fantastic. You weren't overly hinged on the acting, you weren't overly hinged on the comedy. It also wasn't boring. That was something I was scared of. I was scared that they would kind of make it more modern and more boring. But in fact, for me, I enjoyed watching this one more than I did the original. People will probably disagree with me in that, and I totally understand. But for me, this movie was more exciting than the original. 5 pretty hard-hitting stars in this movie. You've got Sir Ben Kingsley, Idris Elba, Christopher Walken, Scarlett Johansson, and of course Bill Murray. Now, all these actors, I would say, did a really good job in voicing these characters. Ben Kingsley was really good at playing the kind of father figure. Bill Murray, of course, he's known for his comedy. He was very funny as Baloo. He did a really, really good job at replacing such a beloved character. Scarlett Johansson did a great job as Kaa. I think Kaa, it's just K-double-A, isn't it? Kaa. And Idris Elba, we know, can be a menacing character. If you've seen Luther and pretty much anything else he's done, he's always pretty menacing. But you've got him as Shere Khan, and he was fantastic. He has such a what would you call it? Such a, like a voice you know it's his. He's got such a commanding voice. He's kind of like Benedict Cumberbatch. When you hear Benedict Cumberbatch or Tom Hiddleston do a kind of menacing voice, you immediately are scared. And that was, Idris Elba's got that kind of deep, rough, villain-like voice, which worked fantastically. Of course, you've got Christopher Walken, who's playing the orangutan King Louie.
Well, King Louie is the king of the jungle. He's a gigantic gorilla.
And Christopher Walken was given the job in singing I Want to Be Like You, which they put a modern twist on. And the way they did the song in the original was supposed to be a kind of happy, upturned, I want to be like you, man cub. But on this one, they made it a little bit more menacing because there was like King Louie was forcing Mowgli into bringing him fire. And so they made it a lot more scary. They slowed it down. They kept that kind of upbeat tune a little bit, but they slowed it right down. They made it a little bit more menacing. Christopher Walken's voice in it worked fantastically. And they did a modern twist on the other songs as well. Of course, Bare Necessities is one of the most recognisable Disney songs there has been. Now, with Bill Murray singing it, I don't know if you guys have ever heard Bill Murray actually sing. I had. He's actually not that bad of a singer, and when they brought him into this, they took him. I was listening to an interview by Jon Favreau, and they said they took him to New Orleans to meet the band and do the live recording there, and they did it cool. It was, like I said, it was jazzier. They brought it up to a more modern audience. They had Neil Sethi, who was playing Mowgli, had him sing along. It worked really well. It was really, really good the way that they kept some of the original songs but took out the boring ones. Now, I'm a massive Disney fan, so to know they're remaking Disney classics is always a little bit scary. Cinderella was alright, wasn't fantastic. Snow White and the Huntsman, we just won't talk about. Then you've got the remaking Little Mermaid, and they're also remaking Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast being my favourite Disney movie, but it's a little bit embarrassing, so don't say that. To learn that the remaking them is still a little bit scary, although if they are done like this and done with as much time and precision and dedication that Jon Favreau and the rest of the cast were done, I'm sure they can be fantastic as well. Now, I recently had to talk with my friend who said that he didn't actually think Neil Sethi was that good in the movie, and I have to disagree. I enjoyed watching him. I thought he was a really good character. You can understand where he's going. He's still young. He is raw. I mean, if you actually know him, he isn't actually an actor. He was a dancer originally. He talked about this on Jimmy Kimmel. He was a dancer originally, and then they put it forward. He'd never actually done acting before. This was his first actual acting role. And so of course he's going to be raw, and of course he's going to be, you know, untrained to some extent. But even as that, he was actually alright. He wasn't exactly Asa Butterfield when he was a kid, who I still think will win an Oscar one day. I'm betting my money on it. He wasn't exactly on his level, but for his age and for his experience, he was half decent. Also, to know that he wasn't actually acting to anything is impressive. It's totally different if you're with other actors who can read their face and read their emotions and react off them, but to know that it's just a voice you're overhearing isn't exactly always the easiest thing to do. Hi guys, so my camera cut out mid-sentence. I have no idea why. So I've lost like another 5 minutes of my review. I was literally sitting here editing it right now on my laptop, and I was talking about Neil Sethi playing something, so I'm just gonna have to finish the review like this. I do apologise for this. It's just sadly something I can't control. But yeah, to act to something that isn't there is very impressive for anybody to do. Never mind an actor who isn't like a trained actor or anything like that. It was very, very impressive. Other than that, I'd say the movie was fantastic. I would give it a solid 8 out of 10. I thought it's definitely worth the watch as both a Disney fan and a movie fan as well. So if you like Disney or you just like really good movies, I would recommend seeing The Jungle Book. And that's pretty much it from me today, guys. If you did enjoy, go ahead and hit the like button down below. Really does help my channel out. Go ahead and leave in the comment section what you would rate the movie out of 10 if you've seen it. If not, then let me know what other Disney classics you would want remade in the future. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss another video on this channel. I'll see you next time, guys. Take care. Bad douche.